Hey, what's up? It was your boy Q Christopher and the one and only Tati Donnie in the building. And of course, this is Nocturnal Vibes Radio.
Yes.
As we promised, Descendent.
Yes.
Welcome.
Artist, storyteller, historian. You got a couple of things under your belt.
Yeah, a few things.
We're going to get into it, though.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. Man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
How was your week so far?
Stressful.
Oh, it's almost over.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to be over. I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
We have, did you get to vote?
Yes.
Okay. Any experiences? Did somebody try to plug out the voting machine or what?
No.
Any issues?
It was issues. It was shocking that none of the machines were working.
I heard about a story where they actually couldn't find an extension cord to get to the ballot machine.
Really?
Right. So they had a line of people waiting just to vote, but they didn't have extension cord to get to the ballot machine.
And how did something like that happen?
Right. How long did you know voting was going to happen?
Right.
Everybody knew.
This is how
sabotage.
Yeah, in Brooklyn, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're going through that in Georgia.
Right.
No
But
shade.
Democrats have the House.
Yes.
So we do.
They do.
Still a lot of work to be done, though. We
There's
still got Bush in office, so another 2 more years we got to see how the Bush.
Wow.
That's how much I don't want Trump to be in office. Even worse, right?
We got the orange
Which
man
Bush?
and all.
Trump. Right.
Yes.
So let's get into some of your talent. When did you start music?
It's a great question. I was probably at the age of 9. I started doing poetry.
Okay.
And oddly enough, one of my favorite rappers is Tupac, and I started to notice that that's how he started rapping.
Mm-hmm.
So it was poetry, then it was freestyling. Then the hardest transition for me was actually like song format.
Okay.
Actually learning how to write a chorus, the bridge, knowing when the producer wants you to be aggressive or even back, like learning the different ways of around my way in the studio. So yeah, since 9.
So the beginning stages, there was that,
Trying to figure it out.
Talk. What is it? Talk poetry.
What,
When
when they
you
do the
remember
snaps?
spoken word.
Yeah, spoken word.
You remember when one of my favorite movies, which is Love Jones.
I was about to say,
I'm a little young.
You
I'm a little
I
young.
forgot about that.
Yes.
But Love Jones is one of my favorite movies, and it was a poem for Nina. Remember that one?
Towards the end of the movie?
I believe it was the beginning. What's his name? Lawrence. Lawrence Tate.
Lawrence.
He was the one who spit that. I might spit that one night, maybe for the holiday. For the New Year.
Well, let me watch the movie first.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen the movie.
Epic movie, actually.
I know, my black card can be revoked on a lot of movies that I haven't seen.
Maybe we can watch it together.
Okay.
But yes, so where did you grow up in Brooklyn?
No, actually, I'm not from New York. I'm from Virginia, from Newport News, Virginia.
Okay.
I've been out in New York about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
I had family up here, but as a kid, I always traveled up here. And of course, go shopping, go back down south.
Right.
No southern accent.
No, I get that a lot though. I get
you
that
have
a lot.
one or you don't have one?
I guess honestly, I'm from Virginia, like it's a melting pot.
Like the DMV area?
No, more the southern, more closer to the North Carolina line, like the 757.
Okay. That's like deep in the South.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It was a melting pot because you got Missy, you got Timberland, you got Chris Brown, you got the Clips, you got Pharrell.
Okay.
If you think about all of those artists, none of them
they don't
sound the same, talk the same, styles of music sound like even their personalities are all different. So I get that a lot. Like the funny thing is, if I go deeper down south, like Georgia, Florida, they're like, "Oh, you up north." If I come up here, I'm down south. So it's like, so that's why it's kind of like in the middle. But I guess that's why I don't have a southern accent. I get that a lot though, even in my music. I guess people don't think that I'm a southern artist or your traditional southern artist, but I am.
They don't hear that southern draw.
Right.
As far as music, when was how old were you when you first written your first, I guess, let's say poetry?
He said 9.
Yeah, I was around 9.
With poetry.
I was around 9.
Yeah.
I didn't even share that with I always wrote it like to myself, never really shared it with anybody.
Okay.
Just like So it was around 9.
So when did you get bold enough to really say that this is what I want to do and then transition?
In high school.
Okay.
When I was
when you was trying
15.
to pull chicks or something?
Nah, honestly, this is when like the battle scene was like 106 in Park was coming in, and the Freestyle Fridays. I didn't really battle too much on campus because back then, I don't know why, but we used to get in trouble. Like you get suspended.
Running ciphers.
For running ciphers.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we used to get suspended for that. We only like
I because y'all end up fighting.
Honestly, nah. But it was probably because of the language.
I mean, rap battles do get intense.
They get intense, but it never got
in each other's faces.
Yeah.
This before that. It was like really crews and like who has the hottest like bars. Okay. It was really about lyrics.
Sidebar: have you ever seen the slap competition?
Yes.
Like people really set up.
We used to do it in high school.
Really? Yes. After the rap battles.
Yeah, after the rap battles. Like seriously, sit there and watch somebody.
People don't play fair anymore, so those are not. Yeah.
Quick. I can't do that.
I mean, rap battles get violent.
I've only watched it. Like I couldn't take someone slapping me.
I couldn't even take somebody being in my face.
Yeah.
That close. Like their own battle. That's crazy.
Battle slap.
That's crazy. Nah, I'm not doing that.
So talk about your latest music now. Like, what are you about to drop? I know you're about to drop something.
I just dropped an album. September 28th. A Voice for a Voiceless just came out. It's about 11 tracks.
Okay.
Just giving my idea of what needs to be brought to the forefront, because it's not to say it's never talked about, but the issues that I talk about as far as sickle cell anemia, as far as being from the South, the negative stereotypes, as far as love, talking about love but in a different manner, not more sexual, but as a relationship between a man and a woman.
So you really concentrate on your content and what you.
I really do, because I guess it's my influences, because my influences were Tupac.
So you're not talking about slapping hoes?
Nah, I'm not doing that. That's not.
A little bit more respect.
A little bit more respectful. Yeah. A little bit more. I mean, no, kudos to those people who do. So that's not.
But you gotta set it. You gotta set it.
Yeah, I gotta set an example, and I got people listening, and people really look up to me, and it kind of scared me because I didn't know that until the fans or people who being at the power of the internet getting younger and younger, and not to say I'm gonna be perfect in this, but I have to be mindful of what I say. Okay. So, but still be myself at the same time.
Favorite track on the EP?
That's tough.
Well, hold it up.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche and say that, because I really took my time and I say for today it's probably hardcore, because I'm releasing a single. I mean, not the single, the music video tomorrow on YouTube.
So Nocturnal Vibes exclusive.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
The first, getting this first. So
awesome.
That's hardcore, and it pretty much explains in our culture how we define what's hardcore, who our heroes are. Coming from the ghetto, coming from the streets or poverty line communities, our heroes are drug dealers. Our heroes are killers. Our heroes are people who we think that care for us. That's all we see. So we see, and I saw it too, the jewels, the women, the money, the cars. So you thinking that's it until you get older and you realize it's not. Those same people are not even in the streets no more, or they may be literally maybe in jail and they may be dead.
That's why I feel like it's so important to share at any age that whatever work you're doing, just share with the next person, and they might be interested in. But it's other than talking about the drugs and the girls and just getting money,
right? Because
they got the money, but they had to work to that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it may not be legal half the time, but they're working to get that money. But it's important.
Now, what kind of space do you typically have to be in order to write? Do you have to be secluded or?
I'm very random.
Okay.
I just wrote on the train yesterday. I hate writing on the phone though. I'm more of a pen and pad person.
Okay.
But lately, because I've been in New York, you can't be. It's too crowded. Right. It's too much.
So right on the train wall.
Either that or I'm trying to focus on remembering my stuff a lot more, but that's kind of hard. But yeah, it doesn't have to be. It can be secluded, quiet. It can be noisy, but it has to be other creatives. Like I don't like writing and it's just like a bunch of people drinking and smoking. And, yeah, you know, I don't.
Not contributing.
Yeah, then I can unless we're recording. I need to feel a vibe. You know, especially collaborating on the song. Like, you know, I need to be around other creatives, even as producer, the engineer, the musician. If I'm working with a bass player, something like that, like it has to be.
You gotta call it.
I know.
They want to know, bro.
My little brother, I'll call him back.
Your poetry, your spoken words.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say one verse real quick? On the spot.
On the spot. You didn't do it like that.
I can do a rhyme, but I can say it in spoken word form.
If you want to bust a rhyme.
Whichever you prefer.
Whatever you feel comfortable.
On the spot, I like that.
And if you could throw Nocturnal vibes in there,
I'm gonna see what I can think
straight
of.
freestyle.
Some improvisation.
The Nocturnal vibes cipher. I'm about to rap after that.
Oh, really?
No, I'm joking.
Let me see. It's although we have different sex chromosomes, we've been losing the war since we've been taken from home, lacking power structure, important things we don't own because we too busy fighting over melatonin. Don't want to be you inspired by the clones, making a good cheese like Italian, provolone. Bunch of young kids won't have a chance to be grown because we love Cool J, send 14 shots to his dome. Because you're a killer just to settle the score, but if a cop do it, you won't do shit but press record, living a good life. Fuck a price, money on the floor. So headed for destruction, but you want to bring more. Taking innocent lives in this cold streets of war. Marching for justice, death knocking at your front door. Since when it's cool to sell, messed up, but hey, this is live, so.
Wait,
so you just got that off the top, or you practiced before you got here? You prepared?
No. I practiced. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
People, man, you could have done a freestyle.
I'm sorry, no. Hey.
I'm
I was prepared because I know I watch y'all stuff. Like,
it's very dope, though.
He
already knew.
Yeah.
Like someone that could prepare. Talk about your shirt. This is a pretty interesting shirt that you have.
Yes, this is on the flyer that y'all posted. I'm selling these shirts. I actually got this from a lyric that I wrote on a song called Crown on my new album, Voice for the Voiceless, that's available everywhere. All streaming platforms. But I say a line that said, I'm not a thug, not a pimp or a nigga, I'm the king, the crown. So I wanted to take it further and put it on a shirt. And I know I'm not the originator. I'm pretty sure other people seen these types of shirts. But as far as crossing out, as far as being a rapper, because that's a stereotype as we call each other niggas, we call each other pimps, we thugs. But I wanted to take a stand and use my platform and say what I believe who I am. We are who we are, not what they say we are. So I wanted to take a step further, and I did the king, I did queen shirts as well. Although I don't say that in the song because I was referring to myself, but I figure we are kings and queens, not on some more of a African standpoint, because you know all of our lineage don't trace back to kings and queens, but we all are royalty in some shape or fashion.
Yes.
So what's on the woman's shirt?
Woman is
we're a family show. Just preface it like that.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't want to say the words. It's the B word, of course, is on as
female dog. Okay.
Right, crossed out. The S word, I don't know how to.
Okay.
It's crossed out. Yeah, it's
It's
crossed out.
not that bad.
Okay, it's not bad. Okay, you know,
I don't know.
family show.
Family show.
Right. And the other word is, I think is the H word.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a garden tool.
Garden tool.
Okay.
Garden tool. I like that.
But what I do love is the fact that we're trying to get rid of these
We have to.
niggas. There's a lot of conversation about it, you know, because if you're black, it's okay for you to use it, but are we setting a good example for our children coming up and making them understand exactly what the word is and how it should be used or should not be used? A lot of people feel like we're giving it, more life. Keep using it amongst ourselves and giving, other individuals who, like I talked about it one day. You could be on the train and you hear a Caucasian guy and be like, "Yo, my ninja this, my ninja that, my ninja this," but you don't know what background, where he came from. He could be raised by, African Americans, true, and no one knows that. But we could judge him because of what we just hear. So it's I think it's just important. He needs to be he needed to be educated. I feel like everybody needs to be educated.
But I also think it's more than what meets the eye, because you don't really know. We associate African American with the color of your skin. You don't really know the background, He can be very well just a very lighter version. It all depends on where you come from. So just understanding the power of the word and the perception of it, and honestly just eradicating it altogether, as opposed to saying that some people could say it and some people can't.
And I'm on that. It's a double-edged sword with me. I fight with it a lot. I think with our culture, it goes back to the slavery days of like how soul food was created. Soul food was created, my grandmother told me, from the scraps that the slave master gave to the slave. So we made soul food out of it. That's why you have chitlins and things of that nature. The nasty stuff. This is the slops that they gave after they got finished eating. And I feel like with our culture, that's what we do with anything that America has given us as a sign of an ugly term or ugly stereotype. We try to flip that and make soul food out of it and turn it into endearment as far as the word nigga. Now, between ourselves, and it's communication between ourselves, meaning Black people, that we use that word, and we feel like when white people say it, it doesn't come from a love standpoint. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I feel like as rappers, entertainers, or mostly as artists, when these people white people or any other ethnic group buys our music, and that's mostly what they hear, most of them feel like, if I buy this, I have a right to say it. I bought it. I went to the concert. I went to.
Somebody would tell me that.
Yeah, honestly, I've been through ciphers when we had a discussion. We was in a cipher. This is in NC State. They have a cipher out there on Mondays, like from 10 to 12 or late and early in the morning. And I stopped going because it's like all these white kept saying the word nigga. Just kept saying it. And they was looking like, Kanye says it, Jay-Z, and you know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, that it don't fly like that. First of all, we in North Carolina, so I know you know the history of this word. So don't come to me and act like you don't know what I'm talking about. So it's a double-edged sword. I think recently Kendrick Lamar brought a fan up. I don't know if y'all saw this. It was online just a few months ago. He brought a fan up, and the song he has, I forgot what it's called. He goes, "Man down, where you from?" N-word. So it was a white fan that came up, and she said the word. So the crowd was like, "Whoa!" He stopped and explained. But my thing is, Kendrick, if that standpoint is like, everyone doesn't know that. Everyone's not educated enough to bleep themselves out.
All the more reason to get rid of it.
Right. Honestly, and I feel that 100%. I really think no one should use the word. But at the same time, it's like we also got to be mindful of always not having these words have so much power over us at the same time as well. Then again, I also feel like you don't never hear, Spanish people call themselves wetbacks, or Jewish people call themselves spits, or whatever that. It's not going to happen. Only with us and our culture, and that's why sometimes, I struggle with it.
We still have a long way to go, unfortunately. On a lighter note, R&B music. This is an R&B platform. We love to hear R&B artists. Who would you say was some of your R&B favorites
right now?
Live.
Right now, this is dope. This is an R&B platform. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, I like that. All right, cool. And
that's how dope you are. See, you still invited.
Right, yeah, no, it's dope. I didn't know, okay. But no, right now, my homegirl, I Am Chelsea I Am. She's one of my favorite R&B
Shout out to I Am Chelsea. I'm sorry, baby. I got you, boo.
He gonna call. I'm gonna make sure he
got
call
you.
you. I'm gonna make sure he call you. No, but she's one of my favorites. Black. His new album is amazing. Sick. I like Jeremiah's recent new stuff. As far as in the past, like Marvin Gaye, I would just before I got here, I was just listening to James Brown.
Okay.
I love James Brown. Like I love James Brown.
You ever start performing some of his stuff and slide on the stage?
Yeah.
I did it once.
You said you did it once, bro.
I did it
I am
once.
mad at you.
It was in college. Somebody pulled me on. They played James Brown, and somebody pushed me on stage. I did James Brown. I didn't.
Kind of like a karaoke type thing. Okay.
It was an intermission through an event they had, so they just pushed me on stage because they know I listen to James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do the split and almost twisted my ankle, but other than that, it was great.
So you ready to do it now, minus the split?
No, I haven't stretched yet. I don't want to just be my last now.
Right.
What's your viewpoints on where R&B is now as opposed to where it was?
I look at it like hip hop, like it's a plethora of different artists. You know, I think it gets a bad rap. It just like, no pun intended, like hip hop music that is only catered to one thing. You know, as far as R&B music. But if you really look out there, there's a whole. You have the Scissors, you have the Blacks, you have the I Am Chosen I Ams. Then you still have Jill Scott. You still have Erykah Badu. You know, it's a balance. I think sometimes I feel like R&B music is a little bit more balanced than hip hop right now.
Absolutely.
And a little bit more supportive. I feel to a certain extent.
Supported, not so much, but
Really?
no, I don't.
As far as going
so.
on tour together, collabing, and
recently, okay, so Escape, they really had a really good tour. Their R&B tour, really good.
Yeah.
When it comes to artists that have seasoned, been around a lot, their tours they kill.
Right.
But as far as the new music is concerned, new R&B,
okay.
it's a little struggle.
Because
Because every R&B artist now is like, I'm not an R&B artist, I'm just an artist, and now they want to create pop music and other things to enhance.
I hate to say this, but I feel like when people say that, I feel like they're trying to get away from Black culture,
or just whatever's not selling.
Because it's a struggle with that with hip hop when people are like, oh, I'm not a rapper, I'm not an MC, I do country, or I do any. I feel like anything to disassociate with themselves with Black culture. I feel like that's what people say, or like you said, to try to sell records. And I do get that a lot too, or hear that a lot. I'm not an R&B singer. I'm not a hip hop artist.
Well, I think it's more so not necessarily to get away from culture, but more so to show diversity and not be placed in a box. All of these artists, they want to dip in different areas of music, and they don't want to be put in a box, because then when you're put in a box, if you go outside of that box, it's somebody trying to get you back in it. So I think that's also, especially with the culture of music right now, like all of the mixes, I can't even think right now, but all the collabs. Yeah, all of the collabs, like, you have like the Travis Scotts pairing with the R&B artists and different things like that.
It used to be back in the days for R&B artists. I mean, hip hop artists were trying to jump on R&B tracks. Now it's in the reverse now. Where R&B is trying to jump on the hip hop track.
But I feel like even back then, like, although they may have jumped outside of their comfort zone, they would still want to be respected as to who they are. They're rappers or MCs, but at the end of the day, it's still art. You can get Snoop Dogg to collaborate with Keith Sweat. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's an R&B record, but Snoop still is going to be him, but at the same time still focus on the content of the song. So it's once again, it's all about balance. But I feel like R&B is at a great place right now.
Yeah, we both make it even better.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think as far as music, people are not pushing out as much R&B, but I subscribe to Tidal. So I can filter through the R&B. You'll hear some really beautiful music, some really good records. And it hurts my heart that you don't hear it on the radio. You don't hear it a lot. So this is one of the reasons why Nocturnal Vibes is here to play, artists, indie artists who's on the come up because this music is really good. And it is radio worthy,
It is.
But I
mean, it's more so, I feel like it's very microwave right now. Like the music industry is very like get in and get out what's going to sell right now. And it's not about longevity or, timeless. We talk a lot about timeless artists and it's 2 minutes of fame at this point. Like, no shade, but you have the Cardi B's, and all of these artists that are very just go with the flow.
They're following that formula because there's a couple of these, like, her name is Dream Doll, Baby Doll,
Cash Doll, or Dream Doll, whichever one. It's two of them.
It's a lot of them, but they following that.
Yeah.
That Little Kim, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B format.
Yeah, but it's disheartening when you have seasoned artists like Beyonce who feels the need to get on that level to, I don't know if it's a relevance thing, but it's disheartening when she's not a rapper, you know what I'm saying, in any sense of the word. She's a
Cardi B, for instance, is a megastar. She's compared to Beyonce because Beyonce is a megastar. So now everything goes out the window, whether she raps, sings, or dances, it's just like star. Who's the biggest at this point?
Yeah.
And this is why Beyonce doesn't sit down because, out of sight, out of mind. And I think that's why
it works.
It works, but it's like, especially for, I'm a true Beyonce fan. So for us true Beyonce fans, it's like, it's cute. You rapping, it's cute, but that's not who you are.
I don't think she's on top of her album. I don't think
so either, but
just show me, y'all give me y'all little tastes.
She's really raunchy at this point.
And with the new album?
Yeah.
You never really like it?
You're not a fan?
It was okay.
I'm surprised.
It was okay. First of all,
she's always on Beyonce. I haven't heard one word about it.
Well, first of all, it was with Jay-Z, so it wasn't just her album. If it was just her album, it would have been great. But I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I don't see her as somebody who needs to follow a trend. I think that she's in her own lane. And I think that a lot of these other artists are in their own lane. Like Bruno, I think, is a perfect example of not following a what?
He's not in his own lane.
Why not?
Bruno Mars is not in his own lane.
How?
He's influenced. He said
he's influenced, right? But he's not.
He never transitions. You have never heard Bruno try to rap on an album.
No, but I'm just saying, like, James Brown, like I can look at him. He's not someone new. He's in his own lane
in the sense of he stays true to what he is
and what he's influenced by. And he said it. I think his Grammy speech was perfect.
Bruno's album from day one.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I feel like his stage presence. Everybody's all in awe about his stage presence, but I've seen better.
First of all, no. You're not going to do that. No. See, listen.
Who you seen better? You think it's
James Brown?
Oh, of course.
Why are you comparing to the Are you kidding me?
But Chris Brown is a great performer.
Yes.
And because
he's from the VA, by the way.
Yeah, VA. Shout out to the VA. Because he's been in some hot water for some time now. No one is really checking for him.
Excuse me. I've been to a Bruno concert and a Chris Brown concert this year.
Like better?
Bruno's concert. I think him and Beyonce, performance-wise, are neck and neck. I've been to
the Super Bowl together.
I've been to 3 Beyonce concerts and 1 Bruno Mars concert, and I think that performance-wise, they are neck and neck. Neck and neck.
He does give.
His stage presence is amazing. He has his own band.
I feel like they're both musically inclined on the same level. Because if you can watch them perform and then move to beats and hitting notes, it's like something that's within them. Like it's second nature for them. So you could tell. I mean, I get it. Bruno, he does perform very well. I see it, but I see someone else. I don't see.
I think that's with all artists. If you really go back, it's like Chris Brown and Trey Songz, they were inspired by Prince and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson and Prince were inspired by him.
Don't get me wrong, you could be inspired by it, but what I'm saying, when I see Bruno, I see
you don't think that's him.
Right. I see an artist before. I don't see Bruno pushing through what the artists have.
Well, we're gonna agree to disagree because I don't feel that way.
It's all right.
I think that Bruno's in his own lane.
Yeah, I'm really
Most definitely,
man,
like,
that album,
because you're comparing.
He's created his lane. I give that to him, but I guess I'm just not that.
especially when the OGs.
I
even
mean,
the
I
people
guess
that he
it's-
influenced from OGs like salute to.
It's a generational thing. You were.
They salute him because they're like, yo, you know what I did? Like, yeah, they gonna salute him. They gonna big him up.
No.
I don't.
That's like saying my Beyonce is your Tina Turner.
Okay.
It's a.
I see the correlation, but Beyonce takes it to another level. I don't think Bruno takes it to another level. He's there. That's it. He can probably slide across the stage store with his jacket, put on some Louis loafers, and
We're gonna do a poll. We're gonna do a poll on
Yes.
Instagram.
No, that
So
is-
stay
yes,
tuned.
yes.
Because
let's do a poll.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
We gonna find out.
Yeah,
We're gonna
man.
find out.
I'm gonna vote
Stay
too.
tuned.
I'm voting. Casting my vote today.
But off of that for now, tell us a little bit more. So, any upcoming events that you have going on?
Yes, I have a show at the Delancey December 12th from 7 until 12. Celebrate my homie Arthur Ray's birthday when I'll be performing live. This is actually another exclusive. This is going to be the first show that I actually do live tracks. I've been performing with bands lately.
Okay.
Which that's another thing I like about R&B, the live musicians.
Doesn't that give like the performance another level?
So when I drop my album, I just been performing with bands, so I haven't done tracks yet. So this show, I'm doing tracks. Once again, December 12th, 7 p.m. Tickets is $10 at the door. Make sure you come out and celebrate with us. I'm going on tour, working on tour dates. That's going to be the beginning of the tour. I'm trying to hit South by Southwest.
Nice.
Traveling to DC, Virginia, back home, Atlanta. But those are the two. The music video tomorrow.
Tomorrow
And
at midnight
which is gonna be
tomorrow,
on the
or like
website.
tomorrow.
Yes,
I'll put it up on the website.
midnight tomorrow.
Midnight
That's a
tomorrow.
great
So
question. Yes.
in a few
In a few
hours.
In a few
Awesome.
hours. In a few hours. So yeah, that and the show, and just keep on promoting the album, man, and get ready for this tour. Road to, I'm not about to say road, my last album. A Voice for a Voiceless tour coming next year, 2019.
Nice. If you could collaborate with somebody during this tour, who would that be?
Anybody?
Dead or alive, right?
Dead or alive.
Wow.
That raises the
Yeah, that raises the bar a little bit. Because I'm working with my friends, architect, and I am Chelsea, and we actually collaborated with this tour.
Nice.
I was about to ask you too. What did you do? I am Chelsea.
We just actually released another exclusive. We're working on a few songs. They have. She just released her album later this year. I love you, Chelsea. But we got some new music coming for next year. It's gonna be dope. We just like last night, 2 nights ago, we're just working on some new music together. So we're working on that's coming soon. So that's why we're putting this tour together, so we can do a song together as well. We learned a lot. Shout out to Spotify. We learned a lot from Spotify as far as tour dates and learn how to book and be professional.
So all of this
Which is
through
awesome.
Spotify?
No. They taught us, gave us the tools pretty much on
Nice.
what to do when you go out there. It was a free event.
Okay. An actual event, because Spotify is also doing like this thing for indie artists to just have your music on the platform.
Yes, that's Spotify for artists. I think was the platform is called, where I can actually, which is the only platform that does this for indie artists, where you can actually go look at the numbers, where they're listening to your songs at, the age range, what they like to also listen to. You know what I'm saying? A playlist, because playlist, y'all don't know out there, playlist is a new thing. It's not. Blogs are still there, but playlist is really on the rise. So if you got a dope R&B playlist, people will listen to it. So y'all should definitely. I don't know if y'all.
Say it again.
Y'all should have one.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure.
That's awesome though.
With all the indie artists that come, so actually, I'm
Yeah.
not you sent some of your music too, but with all the Indian artists that do come, we put a playlist together.
Nice. I need to follow y'all. I need to follow y'all on Spotify.
No, on the website.
On the website.
On the,
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's even better.
And I'm also going to create some on YouTube.
Nice. Yeah, that's better too, because YouTube is king. So
It is okay.
YouTube is king, man.
It's doing big things.
Is
right
it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's not losing its momentum.
I don't know what's going to take.
I'm
over.
just asking.
now. I know they have Twitch. It's a new
Eh,
platform.
It's a new platform.
Not many
it's not that new.
Well, I mean, YouTube is like
Yeah, it's been around a while.
the McDonald's of content.
I only heard of it crashing once, and that was a couple of weeks ago.
Well, yeah.
And that was the first time I heard.
Well, we on it right now, so I guess we should talk about it.
Love
Shout out to
YouTube.
YouTube.
My channel on YouTube.
Yeah. You have a channel on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I know.
Oh, yes. YouTube.com/Descendent MC. You can follow me on all social media platforms, Descendent MC, from IG, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And definitely subscribe. And the videos dropping in a few hours. So,
Yeah.
coming soon.
Anybody want to shout out?
Yes, I want to shout out my mom. I love you, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I want to shout out my sister, Shakola. I want to shout out my nieces, Akaya and Shakaylin. What's going on back at home in Virginia? I want to shout out to all my people out here in New York. They showed me so much love, being that I'm from the South. And, I'm not from here, but a lot of people think I'm from Brooklyn, which is weird. I don't know why.
I can see that.
You see that?
I'm sure.
Hey, well, shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Shout out to BK.
But even though I live in the Bronx.
Even New Jersey.
Yeah. New Jersey? Yeah.
This
New Jersey's
she
dope.
rep New Jersey.
Oh, word. All right, yeah. Shout out to the Bricks. I got a few families out there in Newark.
Thank you. Shout out to Brick City.
And rest in peace to my dad. Shout out to everyone out there who's going through sickle cell anemia. My sickle cell warriors out there, keep your head up and let's find a universal cure. We'll do it like that.
I love that. That's what's up.
So
Thank you.
plug also where everyone can find you.
Yes, once again, DescendantMC.com, Descendant MC on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, IG, Snapchat, Black Planet. You know what I'm saying?
Black Planet. Oh my goodness. You're thinking about old school.
Yeah, I was
thinking about it.
That's
Black Planet.
No, not Black Planet. But Descendant MC. That's DESCENDEMC.
I think they converted it to just a music platform.
That's
Still
funny.
might be working.
MySpace. You
Really?
didn't even plug MySpace.
No,
You're gonna
MySpace,
plug
that's what
Black
it is.
Planet and not plug
MySpace,
MySpace.
I wish they bring back I love MySpace. Like,
Yeah, it was cool. You know what's so funny that I thought about? I'm like, imagine if all the people that took MySpace seriously went into coding, because that's literally what
it was.
MySpace was.
It
Like
really
it
was.
was coding.
I remember when hearing about like Trey Songz, Chris Brown,
Mhm.
Soulja Boy.
They were in that
They were
era.
all in that era. I was trying to get myself out there. I remember
Yeah,
that. Like,
they were
living
in that
now.
era.
That's
And
crazy.
like the whole, coding and
What was Soulja Boy's song right there?
Superman.
yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. That was the
It's
song.
crazy.
Yeah, I remember I
He made a
first
lot
heard
of
that
money.
song.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Listen, he's making that love and hip hop money now.
Oh, that's what he's
Oh, that's what
doing.
you're doing.
Yeah. I want to say he's been on. I don't keep up with it.
Yes, you does.
No, I don't. I just
What happened to
know.
Atlanta Housewives?
I don't watch that. I'm
He's-
not a
the last time I checked,
reality
he's
show
doing a video
watcher.
game.
Huh?
He's doing a video game.
Oh, word? Okay.
Creating his own
Who
video
is?
game. Soulja Boy.
Didn't he have like his own like scooter line, or was
Yeah.
that somebody
No,
else?
he did.
He did,
Yeah,
right?
he did.
Well, and he talked about it. I believe it was on Love and Hip Hop, if I'm not mistaken, or
no.
one of them reality shows. I don't keep up with that stuff.
Yeah,
guys.
right.
I don't.
I don't.
Listen, I want to shout out everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We're here each and every Thursday. Shout out to Chelsea one more time. Chelsea,
Yes,
I'm gonna call
Chelsea,
you.
we will get you here
I am
soon.
Chelsea. I am. What's going on?
Maybe
I am
even a
Chelsea.
collab.
Yes. And shout out one more time for this gentleman.
Yes. Thank you
Thank
you
for
for having
coming.
Historian, storyteller,
Thank you.
artist, all of the above. We're about to do a cipher real quick. We'll start it off. Go ahead, bro.
I'm doing something.
Do a cipher.
Yes,
Okay.
before leave our viewers with something.
My viewers or something. Okay. A world that don't judge the color of my skin. Trying to Caught me off guard. I messed up. It's all good.
Take two.
Take two. A world that don't judge the color of my skin. No crooked cops getting stopped ever again. All love, no hating, not anywhere in sight. You beautiful, damn near white, or dark as night. Children loving who they are, no doll baby effect. No wheeling syndrome to keep us all in check. No emotional wreck, our spirits connect. No disrespect, but our minds not ruled by sex. Not ashamed the way God made me. You crazy? No drug era, 80s, black crack babies. You and me. Knowing our history stupendously, no need for positive black families on TV. Don't have to live and die in a trap. No violence, cause peace is where you live at. Might think I'm going crazy, but this could all be facts. Like everyone is proud to be black. Picture that.
Yeah.
I think we could snap on that one. Is that snap worthy?
Snap worthy, clap worthy.
No, I'm saying snap worthy in the sense of, is that poetry? Or, yeah, there we go. We
Poetry in motion. Like that.
It's my turn. My name is Q, and I'm about to pass it over to Tati.
Tati got no bars.
Listen, I want to shout you out again. Thank you for tuning in. We're here each and every Thursday. Watch out for this young gentleman. He's doing big things. We love him. Nocturnal vibes.
Nocturnal vibes.
Smile for the camera. Yeah. Done. 65 minutes. All right, we just want to.
That's how YouTube Live works.